right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Ace and Rich Live. My name is Ace Guzman, and it's Friday. And not only that, but it's also a special day. It's the 4th of July. Everybody was asking me, Ace, are you doing this live? Seriously, on 4th of July? Yes, definitely going to do the live, of course. It doesn't matter if it's Independence Day, because you know what? It actually is going to resemble the mission and the message to everyone, because it is totally related to 4th of July. It is all about independence, isn't it? And when you actually tune in tonight, we have a special show lined up for you. We have a special guest who's backstage right now, and this is her first appearance here on Ace and Rich Live. We reached out to her. We are so touched by her story, and she's going to have the privilege to share that with you on the show tonight. So we're shining the spotlight on our very own team member. She's definitely in our team, but she is sponsored by somebody else on our team. We had her last week, actually, Michelle Howe. And this is her teammate who literally just started flying through the leaderboard and just showed up, plugged into our system, and didn't just try affiliate marketing, right? And she committed to it. And I want to tell you a little bit about her before we bring her out. She's a proud mother and a fighter. Okay, you're going to be touched by what she has to share. And I've got some great questions to share with her and with you guys. And she's a brand new member to the affiliate space. And being a new member, she did not realize what was going to happen. I mean, I think she kind of had a feeling that it was going to happen, but she also had her doubts. And lo and behold, she hasn't even been on the team for that long and immediately skyrocketed to 9 gold sales in our program and with our Freedom Launch System blueprint. So, but this isn't about sales tonight. This is not about sales tonight. This is about the why. The why Diane started. And her mission is personal. So if you're a parent, you definitely want to tune into the show tonight. If you want to share this, I'm telling you, share this on your timeline. Share this in your Facebook groups. Let's give Diane a round of applause and a welcome on Ace and Rich Live, because Diane McGregor is going to share her story with you of how she did it and also give you some pointers as well. Let's bring Diane out. Hello, Diane. Welcome. Well, are you excited?
Yep, I am.
Good. Diane, I have some questions for you, but let's introduce everyone to your backstory. Tell them a little bit about yourself. Like, where were you at in life when, you know, affiliate marketing just came into your lap and like right on your radar?
Well, I was looking at a lot of the stuff that's out there, and I went with somebody else, and I spent 5 months. It was painful 5 months, waiting sometimes a week to get an answer to something that should have been simple. And then I got a hold of Michelle on Facebook, and we were talking back and forth. And finally, I just threw in the towel with the other organization and started really around the 1st of June. And so I've been in a month, and I'm just amazed at the results that I'm getting. So, yeah.
That's exciting. Now, what do you do what did you do before you did affiliate marketing? Did you have a job? Were you at home? Like, I know you own some horses. I mean, let's talk about that.
Well, I worked in the oil industry for a number of years, and then I retired early, and I have a quilt pattern company, and I've been in internet marketing for 10 or 12 years now. So I know that side of it, and it's sometimes tough to get people's attention, but now I'm getting a lot of attention with my quilt pattern business. And it's not always good. So, yeah, because I want to do other things. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. So usually we say when we have like a lot of attention, like that's a good problem to have because we want customers, right?
Yeah, I could have begged for customers, and now it's like I got almost too many, and they all want their patterns done at, all the same time. So that's what I spent today doing, was designing patterns. So, yeah.
Now, you and I, we talk a lot on Telegram. And I remember when I was asking you about your reason why, you mentioned to me that you got started with this, and you mentioned you're not chasing Lamborghinis. You're not chasing like the whole facade of like becoming a millionaire and making money overnight. Can you tell us your why and what really has brought you to the decision of, I've got to make this affiliate marketing work? Go ahead and share your story.
Well, my son was in the hospital about 2 years ago, and he almost died. And so it was a very stressful time for us. And we were actually on our way to Hawaii, and he insisted that we go because he was in good hands and they were taking care of him. And he has it's a really rare disease. I think in Canada, there's only 170 people that have it. And it's cardiopulmonary hypertension. And what it means is that the artery that feeds his blood to his lungs quit working, just like quit working. And so he had like 70 pounds of water, liquid in his body. Legs were swollen twice the size. And anyway, they kept him in the hospital for a month while they regulated his medication, because how much could he tolerate before he started getting side effects and stuff. So anyway, so after that, he ended up with a pump, and it's not a tiny thing either. It's quite large, and he has to wear it 24/7, even sleep with it, and he also has to make his own medication, because the medication right now, if it's in a powder form, and if it gets in liquid, it only lasts for 7 days. So his life is limited right now in terms of what he can do. So yeah, so that's why I decided that I wanted to get into this, because I wanted to donate what money I make to the researchers and see if they can't come up with a pill as opposed to the pump, or something smaller than the pump. I know people that have diabetes have some smaller pumps that they have, but his is quite large, and he has 2 of them, because if one quits, he has to switch. Yeah, I don't know, it's pretty hair wracking. Anyway, and he's a teacher. He's been teaching at the same school for 20 years, and they were astounded. Like, they were all. He sent his band to. He's a band teacher. He sent his band to Vancouver while he was in the hospital, and it went off really well. But it was funny that he insisted they go without him. So anyway, he has traveled a bit, but it has to be within a 5-day sort of limit when he goes. So that's what I decided is I'm in my pattern business. I just can't make enough money to like it at $5 a pattern or $10 a pattern. It takes a long time. So I decided to do this, and I'm really happy so far with the results that I'm getting. And so, yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. And I hope our audience members can connect with what you're sharing right now, because it's very personal. And I think it takes a lot of courage for you as a mother, from one mother to another, to open up to the world on the internet and share this personal, side of you, and this situation the way it is. And when you said your son is a teacher, is he in his early 20s, late 20s? How old is your son?
He's actually 40. He's in his 40s. So, yeah.
Wow.
And this came out of the blues. Like, he's never missed a day of school. And all of a sudden he was just really seriously ill. And yeah, so it's been a trial.
So you are determined to meet this goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it in your eyes. I definitely can see that. And, for those of you who don't know, like, Diane, like she just said, she lost money in another previous program, trying to get to her first couple of sales and nothing was happening. And I know many of my audience members who follow Ace and Rich Live can relate to that. They have been through that before. But, you also mentioned that when you took the dive and you stepped in, you met Michelle and you communicated with her and she shared, her journey and how her results have been. And then you obviously saw the interest there and you were just like, well, maybe this might be something that will get me to that goal to help my son out, right?
That's right. Yeah, because she went through the same thing I did with no results. And I mean, after 5 months, I didn't even have a lead, not one. And like she said, Ace and Rich are always there to answer questions, and I felt the same thing myself. So you don't have to wait. You can get an answer right away, and so I love that. And I don't feel like I'm out here all alone on myself. Sometimes I'll ask Michelle something, but sometimes it's just free. It's just you and A. Probably more you than Rich, but but anyway, yeah.
Yeah, she's actually watching. I just saw her pop on, so she's watching and supporting you tonight. She's watching the show. So hey, Michelle, shout out to Michelle. Diane, what was the first few days like when you actually signed the dotted line to join our specific program? We don't have to give any names, but when you plugged into the way we do things and the way we have our Freedom Launch system set up for our members, what was the first few days like for you when you joined our team?
Well, it's like the other system said they were going to automate everything. Well, nothing was automated really. Like you had to build your own funnel, you had to connect it up, you had to connect it to your page. And anyway, it was just, everything just seemed to be a struggle with it. So yeah. And when I came on, it was just like, Michelle and I had dialogue for I don't know for how long, but for a while. And she wasn't selling anything. She was just telling me what it was like. And I just said, well, I've had enough of this. I'm not making any headway, so I'm going to opt out of the other program and join your program. So, and I don't regret it for 1 minute. Yeah, it's been good. Really good.
Awesome. And, when I met you, you weren't, you were quiet. Like there was a quietness about you, but I also sensed a lot of doubt because like maybe a little bit of doubt, maybe some fear in the very beginning. Right.
Yeah.
And that's normal. It's normal. We don't know what to expect. We don't even know if this is going to work. Right. We just go, okay, let's step out in faith, right? And let's just put some action into it, and not just any action, imperfect action, right? That's what we need to do. But what helped you push through the challenges of just getting started as a new marketer?
It's just easy because everything's there and everything is automated if you want it all automated. And so you don't have to worry about that. You can just worry about how can you continue to catch base with your customers so that they don't feel like they've left them out. So yeah, and so I've been doing that and following that, and like I said, I in a month I got 9 gold sales. So like
now we had a fiasco. All right, we're going to share it with everybody, okay? So I remember setting you up, and I remember Rich and I were like, wait for us to get you going with traffic. But then something happened. You just jumped ahead and tell everybody how you made your first sales.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't. I thought, it's all here. It's all here. I'll just go for it. I'm now listening a bit better.
And I just like, wait a minute, how did these sales come? Because we have something in affiliate marketing. It's called a tripwire. And that's when you sell a product on the front end that's a low cost item. And, it's not residual, but it's something to get the people in the door. That's how we teach business. And at that point, I remember checking my Telegram and I saw you said, I have 3 sales for Lead Lightning, but I have no idea where they came from. I said, what did you do? And you just gave me the wrong link. I was like, oh no. But you know what? That was awesome because, sometimes we have to stumble forward and, you crawl before you walk, right? And you learn from your mistakes. And it wasn't actually a bad mistake. It was a learning lesson though. It was because from there it set the pattern for you to just go forward with, okay, let me do it right. Even though I did make sales, which that wasn't expected, but let's go forward and do it the way Ace and Rich has it set up. And immediately tell everybody, how many sales did you make?
How many sales?
Well, right after you did it right.
6 of the $7 ones, and I've got 9 gold sales. So yeah, it's perking along very good. So yeah.
And at that point, right, you looked at this and like, this is real.
Yeah. Yeah. My husband's had his doubts, but I
haven't met him yet, but I'm sure he's a real guy.
Yeah, he's staying out of it because, he's got some other things he's worried about. But but I spent a lot of money on the first program and got nothing out of it. So yeah, I'm interested in making sure that as I go ahead, I'm going to recover those costs, and I'll never think about it again. But even though I spent a whole bunch of money, he says to me, well, that's it. Like, it doesn't matter. He's very supportive. So yeah.
I love when spouses work together and they have, their life partners able to provide some type of support system. They don't have to do the business, but they do need to be present, allow, for you to have your space so you can focus, right? And then be able to get work done like you need to with study time and, being your coaches. We are there with you to answer your questions and help you with closing sales. I want you to share with everybody what your typical day looks like when you are building an online business. And let's talk about the horses.
Well, I think I spent all day yesterday working on it. And so today I had to promise myself that I'd work on my quilt patterns. So I've been doing that today. But I usually spend half the day working on the affiliate marketing and maybe half a day working on my quilting business. It kind of has times when it's busier than others, but yeah. And my husband he prints all the patterns that people order. And he doesn't necessarily think that's a great job, but it's not something you can hire somebody because it's like so spontaneous. Like, I never know when I'm going to get an order for 100 patterns, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
So, anyway, he's okay with it, but yeah, anyway. And one of the things I was talking to him yesterday about was, I said, how do I categorize clicks in my business? Like, because, I have to do an income tax form and I'm thinking, how do you categorize clicks? He said, well, it's advertising. And I went, oh, yeah. I was thinking like it's some kind of computer system, but no, it's not. It's advertising. So yeah, so
we're not CPAs, everybody, but you know what? It pretty much is part of advertising, and yeah, you can write it off.
Yeah, right. So that's what I was looking for. How do I explain this, or what thing do I put it into? So yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. Wow. And did you go riding today with the horses, or you just?
No, I didn't. We had a horse die yesterday, and it was very, very sad. And my husband's horse is not in good shape right now. We've had 2 vets, and they can't find anything wrong with him, but he's like losing weight, and yet he's eating like twice as much or 3 times as much food as he used to. So I don't know. I keep hoping we're gonna see some improvement, but well, that's the problem when you have horses and you can't control everything. So yeah, so been kind of a downer this week, but
And is this like a ranch? Like you have your own ranch with like stables and like
no,
horses? Like
we board our horses at a ranch, and they've got 60 horses and I don't know how many people, and it's like no place else on earth. You walk into it and you just feel so comfortable and so well liked because everybody's so good about talking to people. And I know when my sister, she comes and visits every once in a while. She loves going out there. She doesn't really want to ride horses, but she likes the atmosphere. And she says the same thing. I mean, you've had there. It's like no other stable you would find anywhere. I don't think so. Yeah.
that's incredible. And how rewarding is it to, be able to have that kind of lifestyle where you are providing care and love and attention and, once in a while go out for a ride, on a horse,
Well,
right?
they call me the. I get all the bad kids.
They got attitudes, don't they?
I've had some occasions. Well, I've had at least 3 young students that have learned from me, or 4 of them. One of them is now going to university this fall. She's
Oh, wow.
17, but I've known her since she was 4, and she did some very things that were not safe during her riding. Now she's one of the best, and yeah, she's not going to Calgary. She's going to Saskatoon because she could. So she wants to be a nurse. So yeah.
Nice, nice. Now, one of the things I want to share with the audience that are watching right now, and you guys are getting a lot of great value and listening to Diane's story, please show some love in the comments, drop some fire emojis, some hearts, all that good stuff. I want to share what we do on our team that Diane is benefiting from. Whenever Diane makes a sale, and we talk about these 9 golds, we provide extra support for those members as we onboard them and get them started. And Diane is guided step by step. So anybody that joins Diane's team from this interview, if you know her, if she reached out to you, definitely connect with her. So that way you could be on her team, which means you will be on Ace and Rich's team, and you will be well taken care of. And, we will help you get results like you've never had before. Diane, I want you to share with the audience, what's it like working with Ace and Rich personally? Like, how different is it compared to where you came from?
Oh, you guys are just great. I mean, you're always there. You're just, an email away, or a, sorry, the system we use isn't the email. But anyway, I've had, my questions always answered. And sometimes I get a lot more than I expected. so yeah, so it's been just great working with you guys. And, I don't even know how you have time to visit or do anything with anybody, because seems like you're always answering my questions.
I always, like, when I get you, I have my phone with me, and then I'll say, oh, it's Diane or Michelle. And then I'm like, okay, I'm constantly with my phone. I'm on the go. I have my business with me on the phone. And that's what's great about running a digital business is you can be there and you make yourself available to support your team members, during certain hours that you make available for them to know. Because obviously I'm in Puerto Rico, and you're in what state?
Yeah, we're in Calgary, Alberta.
See that? So I make myself available. Rich makes himself available if it's tech issues. I make myself available if it's something with, support or coaching, or, maybe you need me to talk to somebody, or you probably like have an idea of you want to say something, but you're like, I don't know if I should say that. Let me ask Ace and Rich first. And, we make ourselves available for you and at all costs. And it's important because I remember when I first started in affiliate marketing, I didn't get any support like that. And I remember looking at Rich and I said to him, hon, when we make it, can we be like the best leaders in the industry, like provide that kind of support, the way me and you see eye to eye, and help people? Like, we don't babysit, do we? We guide people.
Yeah.
And we teach them to be leaders themselves, because, it's like you have your kids, and then before they actually have, like eagles, they like to get their wings, right? Like, use that as an analogy. well, the eagles go to the highest top of the tree. And what they do is when their little babies are getting hair, then what happens is they kick them off and they start flapping their wings. They start getting their wings. So we kick our leaders off the cliff so they can build their wings on the way down. We use that analogy a lot in a lot of our trainings, and they understand it because we want people to be self-sufficient. We want people to be able to handle their own, and never have to rely on anybody. You know what I mean? Like in the very beginning, your coaches, your mentors will be there for you, but they can't build the business for you, right?
Right.
Yeah. And we teach you that. We teach you being independent. And what better way to do that and celebrate with 4th of July and Independence Day and celebrating your independence as an online business entrepreneur. I want to share one more thing. What would you say to someone watching this show replay, who's been stuck sitting on the sidelines maybe? Perhaps they're watching this on your profile right now and they're afraid to get started, or maybe feeling a little bit of an anxiety, like, they've already done this in the past and you shared what happened to you. What advice would you like to say to them?
Well, it's a program where you can start with a $7 buy-in, and you get quite a lot for that $7, but then you move up to the gold level and it's whatever, 53 a month, and then you can go to the all-in. So it's a step-by-step thing. You don't have to have money to start with. You can start with, go small and get bigger. So that's, I think, what I really like about it is that you're not, and you could stay at the 7 level if that's all you want, but it's, it gets better if you up the programs.
Yeah. And, is your son watching?
No, no, I don't want to tell him yet till
Okay. All right. No
I
problem.
get some money.
We will surprise him, right? We'll surprise him. That'll
Yeah.
be cool. But guys, if you don't have any questions for Diane or anything like that, you just let us know in the chat. If you do have a question, just type it right there below. But if not, we'll wrap this up for Diane so she can get back to what she needs to do, because Diane's got some members to actually welcome and on board, right? So we're going to be working with her on that and every step of the way. But Diane, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say how Rich and I are both proud of you. You have come so far in such a short period of time. And we are so excited, not just for the sales, but to see the transformation already happening with you. And, you're going to have days where things go up and things go down, but that's business, right? That's what running a business is about. And you got to have the right mindset, the consistency, the courage, and the heart put into your business, because you got to love what you do, right? And I think you, Michelle, are going to be like totally like peas and carrots. You guys are going to be linked up. You guys are going to be running things. You guys are going to be doing great. And you're a living reminder that this business isn't about chasing the money. It's about building freedom, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely. And when that why is strong enough from a mother's heart for what she's able to do, and that's how it begins, nothing is going to stop her until she gets to her goal. Diane, thank you so much for being on Ace and Rich Live. I would love to bring you back, and we'll let everybody know with an update when you come back how things have actually grown since then. Sounds good?
Okay.
Awesome.
Talk later.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, Diane. Have a great night. So guys, that was Diane McGregor, one of our newest team members. And I hope you were touched, inspired, motivated. I mean, just to hear that story, to really tap into the real lives of what these marketers are going through. And we're going to keep doing this. The more and more team members that rise up, and actually want to share what's going on, what made them get started with the business and share their real results, you're going to get an idea. It's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. And you're going to be like, why am I taking so long to get started with affiliate marketing and doing it this way? So I just want to say thank you so much for watching the show. Thank you for supporting us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can watch more episodes of Ace and Rich Live. We go live every Friday at this time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you have any comments for Diane or myself or Rich, just post them below our videos. And we are going to see you next time, same place, same bat channel, to learn more about what we do, how we serve, and how we transform people's lives and people's businesses with affiliate marketing. With that being said, my name is Ace Guzman, and we'll see you next time. Happy 4th of July. See you guys. Bye now.